John Krasinski's newest movie, If, is finally out in theaters, so here are my thoughts on it. Hello everybody, my name is Jesse, and welcome to my channel. I love to talk about all things movies and TV. If you're new here, welcome. John Krasinski's newest film, If, stands for Imaginary Friend or Friends, is finally out in theaters, so today I'm giving you my thoughts on this movie. If was one of my most anticipated movies of 2024. I've always loved John Krasinski, and I think I've always loved him as an actor, and I think he's absolutely brilliant as a director. I loved the two Quiet Place movies. I believe he's done a couple other movies that I haven't seen, but this was another win for him, in my opinion. I absolutely loved this movie, and that's for a few reasons. I thought a lot of the comedy worked in this movie. I mean, you have Ryan Reynolds in one of the main roles, and I mean, he's charismatic as always. He's charming. He has clever jokes and bits throughout the movie. There's a great running gag with his character throughout the movie that you've probably seen in the trailers of him tripping over the invisible if. He just brings his natural humor to this movie, and it works so well with the kind of themes that this movie is trying to portray. This kind of idea, that humor just works really well. I love Ryan Reynolds in this movie, and alongside him, it's a really stacked cast playing these imaginary friends characters. You have Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Steve Carell, Matt Damon, Sam Rockwell, Awkwafina, Maya Rudolph, George Clooney. An absolutely stacked cast, and it's actually really impressive, the cast and the people that they were able to get for these movies, because most of these parts are very, very minimal parts. Most of them only have a few lines each. I think this movie is exactly what I wanted it to be. It's a really fun, lighthearted family movie that's good for both adults and kids alike. And I think it's going to be a fantastic family movie that families will go see with their kids to kick off the summer movie season. But aside from the comedy, this movie also has... It's a much deeper and more emotional film than is really what was being marketed. I mean, this film is being marketed as a very humorous, very light-hearted film, and it definitely is that. But the trailers fail to kind of market that this movie has much deeper emotional layers, dealing with family and dealing with kind of loss and grieving and the kind of how you get through that. And I liked that. I mean, there were several moments that were very emotional and damn near had me tearing up in theaters. And there's John Krasinski plays a fantastic role in this movie as the main character's dad, and he's amazing. I mean, he knows how to make her laugh, and he's great in the emotional moments as well. And speaking of the main character, Kaylee Fleming, who plays this girl named Bee, is fantastic in the movie. I think she absolutely shines. She's great in this lead role. And it also, I think that's also where the trailers kind of misled you a tiny bit. I mean, the trailers do market this girl quite a bit, but the trailers almost make it look like it's marketing Ryan Reynolds as the lead role, and he's really not. It's the girl that's the main character through and through. And I think her character is fantastic. She was great in both funny moments and sad. And I just thought she did really great. A few standouts for me as far as the actual characters go. Steve Carell was, pretty much stole the show as the main If, as Blue. Uh, I thought he was hilarious. He had a lot of great lines. And the other big standout for me was Lewis. He's this kind of older, wiser If. He's like a stuffed bear, played by Louis Gossett Jr. And he's just, he's the character that is, like I said, the smarter, older, wiser figure that can give great advice when the characters need it. And he just has this constant positive outlook on life, the kind of character that you just absolutely can't help but love. And I really enjoyed the way that they were able to animate these ifs in their each different unique way, almost like it it works. Every kid's imagination is different, and they would envision a different imaginary friend in a different way. So I really loved how they found a way to make each if imaginary friend animated in their own sort of way. I also want to point out the score to this movie really quickly. Michael Giacchino knows how to make a very kind of magical feeling score after doing several Pixar movies like Inside Out. Michael Giacchino just knows how to create that sort of whimsical, magical sort of feel with his scores, and that also really shined through in this film. This is really the kind of film that makes older kids like me. I'm almost 19 years old. This is the kind of movie that almost makes me wish I could rewind the clock, turn back time, and go back to my younger years, get that time back, my childhood back, when I was just, innocent kid, didn't know what the hell he was doing. It kind of makes me wish I could get that time back to just be a kid again. One last thing that I want to mention really fast is it's not necessarily a flaw or a bad thing, but I will say I think the ultimate twist of this movie is a lot more obvious than they tried to let on. They tried to set it up as this big kind of reveal at the end. And if you've seen the movie, you maybe know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to spoil it here, don't worry. But I myself did see it coming kind of early on through the film. The movie left enough clues throughout that you can kind of tell where the movie is heading. By the end, you know kind of where it's going to end up, I think. It doesn't really take away from it. I think it is I still think it's a great reveal, a great twist, and I think it definitely will get some people and make it that much more kind of magical for them if you don't see it coming. But if you're paying attention, the movie does leave enough clues that you can definitely see where it's going to land in the end. So like I said, this was a fantastic film, one of my most anticipated movies of 2024, and it didn't disappoint. I loved it. It's a great family film that parents can take their kids to see, and everyone will enjoy it. And I encourage any of you watching this to go see it and show it some love at the theater. Those are my thoughts on If. If you have already seen it, what are your thoughts on it? And that's all I have for you today. Until my next video, like this one, subscribe to my channel. It would really mean a lot. And keep watching movies. Goodbye.